Hello, SLAPAFISH community, and welcome back to another World Tanks console video. So, in this video, it's actually part 2 of my thoughts on the game about 8 months after update 6.0. And yeah, this video was recorded right before Wargaming's live stream on Friday, so this was before I knew about the RNG changes getting reverted and the 70 tanks getting changed. So yeah, keep that in mind when you're watching this video. And that's it. So I hope you all enjoy. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm awesome SLAPAFISH because we're not. And peace out. See ya. In game, there's not much to say. Not really, because a lot of the things have been added back since 6.0. Before 6.0. And there's some things that have been added back better. So when you die, your indicators of how much damage you dealt, assisted, and blocked. When you die, you can still see those. And now when you switch to enemy tanks, friendly tanks, when you're dead, you can see how much they did, they assisted, and they blocked. So that's really nice to have. So yeah, I like that. Also, I still need swimming lessons because this play would be a lot easier. Ribbons! We need ribbons! Where's our ribbons? Ribbons would be very nice to have because ribbons are very satisfying. Also, what else? I think the commanders should talk more. I mean, they talk a lot now, but I think they should be able to talk more. Because that's really nice to have. See, these indicators, I have no idea what I'm looking at. I have no idea. Also, the numbers. They're showing up blue. Let them show up like yellow or orange when you're doing damage, because that's just more satisfying and it sticks out much more. Also, the target info in the top left right now, well, look at this tank. That thing is useless. Get it out here, or give us an option to get rid of it, because that'd be really nice. I'm gonna get shot. That'd be really nice to have. Also, indicators. The indicators, like the heavy tank icons. The icons around the screen, they're actually pretty decently small. If you're actually sitting a decent amount of... If you're sitting pretty far away from the screen, or just like a decent amount, like sitting on a couch, they're very hard to read because they're small. Give us like an option to like make it bigger, because that'd be very nice to have. Also, for some reason, every tank in the game just feels a lot more accurate, and I don't like that. Why does every tank in the game have to be so accurate? Just why? Just completely and utterly why? Makes no sense. Gonna get shot. Hello. Did I just bounce? Yes, I did. That's cool. Also, there was something else I was gonna say. I remember. I don't actually remember. Also, the indicators, the target info thingy at the top left. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's supposed to show you damaged modules. Why does it not show us damaged modules sometimes? Sometimes it's just bugged out and doesn't work. It could just be a bug. But, yeah. This guy is... He's not AFK. I just bounced. I also do like the little indicator when you bounce. It shows you like, hey, you bounce. It's really cool to have. I like it.
And yeah. I love how the E3 is just like, what are you doing? Why are you sitting behind me? Just kill me already. Anyway. Now, in-game result screens. I do like where it shows the top 3 players. That's really nice to have. Because it rewards the top 3 players of the game. I don't know, just look at me! Look how good I did at the MVP. Okay, I do have to say, I miss where the ribbons just slap down on the screen before 6.0. Because that was very satisfying to have. That was very, very satisfying to have. Also, we need like a date stamp on here somewhere. Also, we didn't have the XP. Like, if you did something in a game before 6.0, it didn't tell you how much XP you did per shot, per thing, whatever. I know people have been requesting that for a long time. PC's been wanting it forever. Also, we also have this screen, which is, we used to have like a smaller, littler screen than this, but not a full detail of everything like this. This is nice to have. But, you know what's nicer to have? This. Performance tab. This is pretty nice to have. It's still missing some information. It's still pretty new, but I do also like how it says Mark of Excellence. And it starts tracking immediately. Before, it used to start tracking at 30%, I think it was. But now it tracks about 0.3, 0.4%. Or maybe it's 1%, who knows. But efficiency report. This needs to be better. It was a lot better before 6.0. This is just trash. This needs to be better. Anyway. So that's the World War II part done. Let's talk about Cold War. I know a lot of people have been wanting my response on Cold War. What do I think of Cold War? Well, Cold War. I have my dislikes and my likes about Cold War. I do. So we're actually going to switch to Cold War real quick. Alright, so let's talk about Cold War right now. So let's go to the tech tree. Now, first of all, I've said this complaint before, I made an entire video on it. I don't like the era system of Cold War. Why can't this M60A3 play with this M1? Why can't this M48A5 Patton play with the M60? Why can't this not happen? Because it's in a different era, it can't happen. Like, why? Let the eras play with each other, because they're actually qualified to do it. Like, there's not many more. Like, this tank only has like 160 hit points more than the... I mean, hold on, this has 400. I mean, that's a decent. But anyway, let the M48A5 Patton play in the era 2. And the M60 can play with the M48s. M48s can play with the M60 and the M60A1s. And the M60 can play with... I don't know. Let the other eras play with each other, because it makes, like, the bottom era tank actually... This tank, why would you play the M60 when you could play the M60A3? Because you're always going to be bottom of the list every single game. You're always going to be the worst one in the game. You don't see M60. M60 is in games. You always see M60A1s, M60A2s, or M60A3s, because why would you go back to the M60? Because you're always bottom of the leaderboard. Era system, there's problems with it, and it sucks. And yeah, what else? The tech trees are starting to expand, which is very nice to have. That is my biggest complaint with Cold War. Now, I have another complaint with Cold War that a lot of people don't know. And let me jump into a game with the armadillo. I also did want to tell you, people say that Cold War is dead because if you look at the queue numbers, there's only 4 people in queue. You also have to remember there is 12 queues in Cold War. What do I mean by there's 12 queues in Cold War? Well, there's 6 queues on the EU server, 6 queues on the NA server. If you talk about the NA server, there's 6 queues on the NA server. 3 for co-op, 3 for multiplayer. Each era has its own queue. Era 3, right now, there's only Era 2 tanks and multiplayer on the NA server in this queue. World War II queue has 2 queues, NA and EU. Cold War has 12 queues, so this number is going to be small because there's 12 queues. That's everybody playing in Cold War split between 12 queues instead of 2. Since that's out of the way, let's talk about the next problem I don't like about Cold War. Most people will be like, oh, you don't like light tanks in Cold War. I'm going to get to that. I do like the light tanks in Cold War. The silver income. The silver income of Cold War is something I don't like. Well, let's talk about module prices right now. The module prices are very expensive, especially when you play the heavy tank and medium tank allies, because they're very expensive. Like on the M60, the M46A1, it's like 1.4 million for your first gun, for this stock gun. Like, why? Those need to be brought down a lot cheaper. Just give it like, maybe it's 150,000 silver first to buy. Those need to be a lot cheaper. Now, the silver problem in Cold War. I think Cold War tanks make way too much silver. Because there are people that will load nothing but premium in World War II. Okay? Nothing but premium in World War II. They'll spend all their silver, come to Cold War, play a couple of games, they go back to World War II and just shoot nothing but premium. The extra silver in Cold War it kills the World War II economy. It really does. Because it makes people want to fire more premium in World War II. Because they can make that silver back really, really quickly. And I might die here. Unless this guy's an idiot. He might be. Oh, you just went over that bridge. Anyway. Yeah, silver economy, bad. I think it needs to be dropped down, or this economy for World War II and Cold War needs to be completely different. It needs to be 2 different economies. But yeah, what things do I like about Cold War? The modules. I mean, not modules. Consumables. The consumables are very nice. Smoke is the best consumable in the game, hands down, easily. That is really nice. It's really nice to have. And the whole patch kit is good. It's nice to have. And that's really fun to do. Also, the Cold War light tanks added into the game makes the Cold War game mode a lot more unique and fun. I remember when people were saying like, hey, with Cold War light tanks were first getting introduced, with the first Cold War light tanks, people were saying it's like, hey, Cold War light tanks are going to be completely useless because all, like, the mediums and heavies can keep up with the light tanks. Like, the light tanks are just going to be chased down and ran over. But Wargaming actually had a plan for the Cold War light tanks. They made it so all the Cold War light tanks have extremely good concealment. So most of them can only be proxy spotted unless they fire. So that was the thing with the Cold War light tanks, and I like it. And True Vision's very fun. I think Wargaming did the right decision of putting True Vision into the Cold War game mode instead of just putting it in World War II. I like the True Vision. I do. Like it. There's a good amount of people that actually like True Vision, and there was a lot of people that. There was the same amount of people that didn't want it, didn't like True Vision. So put it in a brand new game mode, so both parties would be happy. So yeah. That was a very smart decision to do. Also, missiles are very fun. Missiles are pretty fun. And I think they're pretty balanced because they can be counteracted. Like, if you pop down smoke, then the people like shooting the missile is going to lose control of the missile, and they can't steer it anymore. It's very fun to do. And it's a long reload. If you actually get pinned by it, it hurts. It's basically like a derp gun. Pretty much. If you know what you're doing, then you're going to do good with it. If you have no idea what you're doing, then you're not going to do that good with it. So, yeah. I think the game's in a really good spot. My overall opinion about the game, I think the game's in a really good spot right now. Yes, there are things that need to be improved on. Yes, there's things that I really despise about the game. Yes, there are things in the game that makes me want to rage quit a lot, like more than usual. But if those things go away, I would be perfectly fine. Like the RG changes, that is the thing. It's like if the RG changes go away, like the RG changes get reverted, I would be so happy. Then the game would be amazing. I think the game would be fantastic if the RG changes go away. And yeah, if Wargaming keep going in the way they're going, because they have been listening to the community a lot more since last year. This time last year. They have listened to this community a lot more. And that's in the right step. They've been bringing mass back. They've been fixing the problems they made with 6.0. They've been balancing tanks that making people happy. So, as long as they continue listening to the community, the game will only get better. But yeah, that's my decision. Yes, there are things we're still missing that we had before 6.0, but given time, I know it's been 9 months, I know, because I've been using the same thing, being like, guys, it's been 9 months. Why have the RNG changes not been reverted? This is my thing. One day I'm making a video on the RNG changes and being like, full push to getting the RNG changes reverted. So, I also did hear that Wargaming is going to have a very big update, and they're going to have a decently sized update, and they're going to be talking about it today on Twitch, and like 2 hours at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is about 2 hours from where I'm recording this right now. So yeah, go watch that, because go show support. Maybe there's really good stuff coming up. Also, if you don't know, +1 - 1's going on right now. So, good luck. Remember to slap fish because forward and peace out. See you.